It's the JT Cho Show!
10, 9, 8, 7,
Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of the JT Show. I'm your host, JT, as you know it. This is episode number 86 on Monday, the 23rd of August. I look sweaty. I just got done running 4 miles. It's very humid. I took a very cold shower and I cooled down, but that's how hot it is. You need a shower after you shower. Special guest today. Super excited to bring him here. I met him when I was at Canon. He's a good dude, streamer, very funny, very good content. The links will be in the description of the videos and the podcast. So without further ado, his name online is WackDaniells. Let's bring him in. He's joining.
Oh, hello.
Hello. We're technically live now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Well, not live, but you know,
Right.
We're
Kinda,
recording. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zooms did this thing where like now I don't know if you hear it when you enter, but it's like this meeting is being recorded.
I did. Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a while since I've been on Zoom.
Yeah, for sure, man. So one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on here is because you just finished your first 24-hour stream.
Yeah.
How did that feel right after you got done doing that?
Honestly, it didn't feel that bad. Like, I thought at the end of it, I was just gonna like, I don't know. I don't know what I expected afterwards, but I didn't expect to be functional the way I was when I got done with it.
Right. Yeah. I thought by the time because I've done one in the past, and I thought by the time this is over, I'm going to probably crash for the next 12 hours. And then I ended up playing 4 more hours of video games off the stream.
Yeah, I could see that because, I mean, I kind of had the energy, but pretty much like right when I took a shower after that, that's when like my body is like, okay, you're done.
Now, did you build like a set schedule for your 24-hour stream, or did you kind of just go with the flow?
Yeah, no, it was a set schedule. I had done like a community challenge where I had set it for only 10,000 because it was my first time doing like a community challenge where people could put the channel points into.
Right.
And I didn't know that you could put 2,000 in at one time.
Oh, wow.
So I had like 5 people do it within that stream. And I was like, well, looks like I'm doing a 24. You know, I can't just go back and be like, nah, sorry guys, that was too little.
Yeah.
And do it. So, and then at first it was kind of like, I don't know when, because I was super busy with work. And then eventually when I got around to it, I was like, okay, I actually set a whole week off of work before I start school this week to do it. So I was like, yeah, definitely. Cause it is one day, but it's not just 24 hours. You got to like get some good sleep before it. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of got to expect to not do anything after it. Right.
Yeah. So online, you're known as WackDaniells. What's your community name again? Is it the
Wacky World?
The Wacky World. Yeah. So when it comes to streaming, man, what do you think are like the most difficult thing is for like being a streamer like at your level right now?
Oh shoot. I would say trying to figure out what the hell you want to do.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people tend to niche down to a specific game, which a lot of people do well with. For me, I'm super ADHD and I have a hard time with.
Right.
So
yeah. No, I was just going to say like, there's a tough balance. Like I just saw this meme the other day. It's like streaming is trying to be funny, trying to be good, trying to entertain your chat, and then your fucking shit crashing. And you know, back in the day when I used Tippy, not Tippy, I used I think it was called Lightstream, but basically when you don't have a PC, you can like third party through through a laptop, and you can stream and transition through there.
Yeah.
But once you hit that master race level, you think, oh, it's going to be way easier. And it never is.
Right. Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
it's
constantly it's like, hey guys, I got to hard reset my PC just because that's what it needs right now.
luckily I haven't had too many technical issues. Mainly the technical issues are just user error for me. Like I'll accidentally mute myself and I'll be muted for like 30 minutes and then someone comes in like, hey, you're muted. And I'm like, well, there goes 30 minutes of my VOD right there.
Yeah, I have a good friend named Jeff who usually throws me. He's a also streamer. His name is now is he dropped the US now. It's just war_machine. I just say it like that because it has two ends. But he
I think I've seen him.
yeah. He's
Is it
definitely
Irish
no.
or who am I thinking? War Machine. I think yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah. He's me and him game a lot. He'll come in and be like, hey, your shit still says the last game that you played. So I'll be playing like Apex, but it'll just be like, oh, it'll show that I'm playing Overwatch because I
Yeah.
never changed. Or like, when you're using your transitions, sometimes I leave it on the pause screen. So then I'm focused and I'm looking at the TV screen, but yet
Yeah.
everyone else is seeing a black screen.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, sorry guys, you just missed that. I apologize.
I think another hard thing for I don't know, some streamers, not all of them are like this, but I think when people first start out interacting with chat.
It is tough.
Because when you go live for the first time, you're like, oh, like people are here, like
well, 4 people. You're like 4 people.
Yeah, 4 people. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Keep going.
Sometimes it's because when someone's talking to you in the chat, they're talking through text, and that can kind of like take away a lot of the context in what they're trying to say. So sometimes I'll read something in a tone that they didn't necessarily mean, so
yeah,
that's the funny thing about it. But
yeah. I mean, another thing too is when you're playing very competitive games and you don't have time to look at your chat. Like I understand, like I don't get paid for this. I'm a very small timer and I've got under 100 followers. But I feel bad when I don't interact. But sometimes you're like, bro, I'm in the middle of combat.
Right.
Like, like that's like being in a gang and being in the middle of a shootout and be like, hold on, guys, I got a text. Let me text. Let me just text that real. Like it's tough to go back and forth sometimes.
And that's yeah, I would say that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing with viewers, because like the viewers, when they come to a small streamer, expect right away interaction. And if you don't, then they're gonna move on to the next one.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Also, when you're trying to play a game like Apex or some sort of competitive game, you can't do that. So I feel like a lot of the people that I know personally don't typically like to watch my competitive gameplay. The people that know me that that did they followed me when I was playing Overwatch typically hang out and play watch me play Overwatch. But when it comes to someone that I know personally, like, okay,
yeah. Consequently, during my 24-hour stream, I started getting a few more followers here and there. And one guy was chatting with me, and I had a goal. I don't know the number I wanted to hit, but this dude, he followed, which was nice. And I hit that number. I was playing something competitive, and 20 minutes later, I look over and he just berated me in the chat. He's like, you don't give a shit about me, this and that, this and that. Man. And I was just like, bro, like I was in the middle of this, man. I was super hyper focused on one thing. And then he unfollowed me, which put me below that number. And I was like, come on, guys, we got one more to go. But like, I feel bad, but at the same time, like you got to understand we're humans, man.
Right. You got to understand that, hey, I'm locked in a certain situation. And that's the funny thing, because like I know someone who has like a pretty big following on YouTube. He plays a lot of Apex, and I mod for him and whatnot. But I noticed that whenever people come in, they right away want to talk to him because they know who he is, and so people will be like, "Oh yeah, he doesn't chat sometimes," just because like he's playing Apex and he's in the middle of destroying people.
Yeah,
and then people think that he doesn't want to talk to him when that's not necessarily the case.
One of the nicest guys with one of the biggest followings, his name is BeerMageddon.
BeerMageddon on Thieves.
Yeah, he plays first of all, he plays Sea of Thieves like a monster. Okay.
Okay.
And number two, no matter what he's doing, he's super, hey, thanks for this, answering questions. And I'm like, I don't know how this guy does it. Like,
Yeah.
he's got that down. Like if I could be like any streamer right now, it would probably have to be BeerMageddon, just because one, he's very good at what he does, and two, he's very good at interacting with chat.
Yeah. That's
Um,
fair.
what type of games did you play during your 24-hour stream?
Oh, dude, I played a whole bunch. I played a lot of stuff that I typically wouldn't stream.
Right.
I actually have a whole Steam library full of games I've never played.
Yeah, same here.
Like so many games. Like someone's like, "Hey, get this game," so I'll get it.
It's $3.
Like, yeah, and then I'll never play it after that. So
yeah, I mean, I had a set schedule, but then one of the games wasn't streamable because now I can stream it, but at the time, it wasn't letting me stream because for some reason Metal Gear Solid is copyrighted on Xbox and it doesn't let you stream it. But if you just use, so if you have Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater 3, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, or Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, you have the HD packs. They're the Xbox 360 games that are remastered and you can download them for the Xbox.
Sure.
It won't let you stream them. But if you just play them and you stream them on the PC, it's good to go. I don't know why there's a difference. So when I figured that out, I was like, well, that was supposed to be a 6 to 8 hour chunk of my day. So now what do I do? Thankfully, one of my buddies texted me and he's like, hey, I'm going to be home in 2 hours. Let's game out for a while. So I was like, cool. So I ended up being a couple I beat a campaign called Limbo, which is just a little side scroller, which ate up a lot of time. But having that 6 to 8 hour window just open up for me, I was like, holy shit, this is going to be one of the longest days of my life now. Because I mean, at least if you play a story like Metal Gear Solid, you're getting like a movie while you play the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
When did you get into gaming? Like, what was your upbringing for gaming? Like, first systems, first games, dude?
Man, I've been gaming for, I don't know, man, pretty much ever since I could pick up a controller.
Yeah,
like it was my mom actually had. I would say I blame it on my mom because when I was growing up, she had the old originals Nintendo. Not the Super Nintendo, but it's the classic NES. And so she used to play a lot of Mario on that. And so ever since then, I think that was probably my first thing with that. So I don't know, any kind of game I've been playing, console, PC.
Yeah. I started out with the Super Nintendo. Then the next Christmas we got a Sega.
Yeah.
And then we had the Sega for a while, but then my dad's to buy the PlayStation 1, my dad sold the Sega. I mean, it's out of our hands. We were like fucking 6. It's not like we knew what Sega was going to... Like, if I could have kept that Sega, hell yeah, I would have kept that Sega. But at the time, to afford the PlayStation, he needed to sell the Sega. But then we got a PlayStation. And then once the last system we ever got, it was probably the most baller Christmas I can ever remember. Because like we opened all of our gifts and we're super like, oh my God, thanks for everything. And then my dad just like looked behind there and he already hooked up the PlayStation 2 into the TV.
Oh man.
And we were like, holy shit, But then he's like, this is the last system that I'm buying because they're expensive. So to buy the Game Boys, the Game Boy Advances, the GameCube, and the Xboxes, I had to mow a lot of lawns.
Gotcha.
A lot of lawns. But what's your typical what are your typical like styles of games you like, or like franchises like that like really hit the spot for you?
Man, so here's like the thing about like back in the day. I mean, I used to play. I mean, I had from classic Nintendo to Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. We had a PlayStation for a little bit, and then we had GameCube, PlayStation 2. Most part of that time I was playing like single player games, a lot of Mario games. I don't know, I was pretty much all over the board with it, but once online multiplayer came out, it ruined single player games forever.
Yeah,
I can't play a single player game with my life anymore.
Wow. I love competitive player games, but I like playing with my homies.
Yeah.
And since my homies a lot of them are the ones that I play with are on the Pacific time coast. When I play video games during the day, I have a lot of free time for single player. And sometimes I do like to get lost in the sauce of single players.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you that because of, I mean, like, yeah, you can spend 6 hours and play Skyrim, or you can, pwn some noobs on Overwatch and have a fun time being competitive for 6 hours,
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's a hard thing too, especially with like new games come, like for instance, the new Halo. It's going to be free multiplayer, and you're going to pay for the campaign. So I'm not going to pay for the game, because eventually they'll just release it on Game Pass.
Right.
But realistically, I don't even want to play the Halo I don't care about no hordes anymore.
Nah.
I care about getting headshots and double kills and triple kills.
I've heard really good things about that new Halo coming out.
Yeah, I appreciate what they did. They didn't cyberpunk it. They didn't give in to the audience demand. They said, no, it's not ready. We're sorry.
Yeah, pushed it back. Yeah.
Because Cyberpunk, I got during Game Share. I didn't buy it, but I never beat it. There's so many bugs. I couldn't enjoy it. And when they came out with their big update, I tried to get back into it. And I was like, the only way that I'm going to ever get back into this game if I restart from the beginning. And I don't want to do that.
See, that's the thing. Games have to be not 100% perfect, at least almost perfect when it comes to launch, or else you're going to lose pretty much ever. Well, I don't know. That's going to be hard to say, because, I mean, I guess Sea of Thieves it was good on launch as far as technically wise, but content,
zero content.
But when it comes to like bugs, like I remember watching someone stream the Cyberpunk, and there was like so many bugs that he encountered that was just unplayable.
Yeah. For instance, at one point I had so many people calling my phone in that game. And like I was like
GTA.
yeah. So I was driving through it was a huge, like, hey, go from this side of the map to this side, and I drove through so many places and had so many phone calls that by the time I got halfway through the city, my game crashed because it couldn't take how many people were calling me. Jesus. And then I was like, cool, reloaded, and then I had to listen to all those conversations all over again, and I was like, this is the worst game ever. And that's why I have an appreciation for Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. It stays in its lane. It's very clean. And what bugs,
Right.
Right. I know there's some 8-bits where you can find cheats, and Pokemon, there's the 99 rare candies and red and blue.
Of course, I had a code breaker for that. It wasn't even like,
oh yeah, dude! I even forgot code. I even forgot those existed. That's what was that? Shark codes?
Game Shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Game Shark and Codebreaker. Those were the two cheat softwares or whatever. I used that. I remember using Codebreaker for the PlayStation. I did a Need for Speed Underground 2, because there's a thing where you can go outside of the boundary and you can cruise around the town, and you could have 3 other people do it with you. So that's pretty much anyone who played online did. And so I could hit select on the controller, and the car would just take off. And I was in a Hummer, so they're like, "Oh, you're using cheats, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah, I mean, back in our day, you got on the internet and then you printed off a cheat sheet for Grand Theft Auto. Yeah. And then you folded it up and you put it in the game case. And then eventually it was L2, L2, R2, R2, up, down, left, right, And then you just imprint it in your brain. You're like, I don't know math, but I know L2, L2, R2, R2, up, down, left, right, unlimited weapons. And you're just,
of course, back then you had dial-up, so it was like trying to get to any website was just painful. So you're like, here, keep this up real quick so we can go back to it.
Well, I mean, even for the PlayStation 2, I didn't get internet. I didn't have fast enough internet until the Xbox 360. Gotcha. That was where about 2007 is where this transition happened, where high speed internet was actually going to start being more affordable for families. Because until then, all the way up until about 2005, 2006, I had close to dial up. And that's mad crazy. And then one time my dad came home. He's like, "Hey, if we don't have we don't have, we can all use our cell phones. We don't have to have a house phone. We can afford high speed internet." And I was like, "Say no more, Brad. Say we can get high speed internet." Bet. And then I ended up buying 200-foot HDMI, no, 200-foot
Cat 5
Ethernet cable from eBay, from China, and I saved up and I bought the Xbox 360 arcade, and that's Murder She Wrote for a lot of solo player games. Because I mean, back in the day when you didn't have internet, you played the same campaign over and over and
Games
over.
were also complete back then when they came out.
Yeah, there were no updates.
No.
If there was,
you didn't have DLCs.
None. No, you had the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people just don't realize that. What's your favorite game franchise of all time?
Of all time, that's kind of a hard one to
or
answer.
maybe like your top 5, like some of your favorites.
So, World of Warcraft. I mean, I delve into that game pretty early on. I would say it wasn't around the time it launched, but it was like right before the first expansion came out, which was Burning Crusade, and I've been playing it off and on up until this point. I don't play it now, but I mean that game, when I first played it, man, that was a whole different thing, because I was like, what? Like, this is like actual thing. And of course, like World of Warcraft, like, that kind of MMO didn't really appeal to a whole lot of people, but for me, man, it was a whole different story. Because I mean, I played Diablo 2, which Diablo series was another one of my favorites.
Right.
Halo is pretty much up on top there as well. I would say those are, I mean, Overwatch, but it's not really a game series until Overwatch 2 comes out, which we don't have no idea when that comes out. But
yeah.
They have a little bit of lore, but it's not something I've dug into. I've read quite a bit of the Warcraft books. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They had I think it's called Arthas. That was probably the best one, because it's like the settings like it's like a winter-esque, dark and gloomy skeletons. Like the main character raised like skeletons. He has his own like skeleton dragon that he rides and whatnot. So it was like, I like that kind of like medieval theme kind of stuff. So
yeah. I mean, I remember the first game I ever remember playing was Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
But as soon as I think Ocarina of Time come out, I like started to develop a brain into video games where puzzles, oh shit, this has to be it. And like, because of those tendencies, when I play video games, like you have to check every corner. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like, I might run down this 25-foot hallway, but I have to, because there could be something at the end of it. But like Legend of Zelda, I mean, that's like my, like,
nice.
That's my shit. I also like Metal Gear Solid. Hideo Kojima did a beautiful job with that. Really sad how he exited that whole situation. I mean, I also like probably the first competitive game. I mean, like, I always remember that Christmas that I bought the Xbox arcade, because they had the arcade on sale the day after Christmas. And then I was going to buy Call of Duty World at War, which I was very good at. But I was walking down the aisle, and they had Halo 3 on sale for $30. And I was like, holy shit, Halo 3 is $30. And then, so I would play at my house, and then all 3 of my friends from my school would go to my one buddy's house with good internet. So they'd be 3 split screening the Halo 3 down, and then you
got all the guest accounts.
Yeah. So you burn your guest accounts and you let them use it so that everyone can have a mic. And I mean, for the better or worse, those old lobby chats were just savage.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I mean, like, absolutely, they still get savage today, but you're like, hey man,
it's toned down. I would have to say, like, compared to what it used to be, I would say it is definitely toned down.
You could cough in the lobby, and people would just say the worst things about you.
Oh yeah.
It'd be like kind of quiet, and someone would be like, and they'd be like, your mother, you're this. You like doing this activity with your mouth, and your backside hole is very large because of the activities that you enjoy doing. That's the nicest way that I could put it, how insults used to pour in over the mic, especially when you won and you all loaded back into the same lobby.
Yeah,
And
they put you on the same lobby. Yeah.
and then it would just, I mean, like the beautiful thing about gaming and PCing now is you can just mute it automatically right off the ripper.
Yeah.
But I hate Warzone with a fucking passion. Okay.
How come?
The bugs, the anti-cheat, and one, I don't play Call of Duty like that anymore. It sucks. Like I like being competitive at Apex. I'm not the best, but I at least know a lot about the game. With Call of Duty, there's such a curve of people that play it that I don't have the time to put in that everybody else is putting in. So your big streamers, they're putting in out. I mean, that's their job. That's 8 hours a day if they choose to, just burning through the same game. And I don't have that drive for that game, especially like with their audio issues and the visual issues and the cheat. Like I don't know if you saw the public announcement for the new Call of Duty multiplayer battle royale, but
is it the Vanguard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they came out with a list of things that they fixed. They said it's truly going to have an anti-cheat software that actually works. But out of their entire list, this isn't now an Activision game because they trade back and forth, but they left the Activision logo off of the initial release. So I don't know if people are really upset at Activision. Yeah. But I mean, I play it with my homies after work because they enjoy playing it.
Right.
But true.
That's as far as it goes.
Another thing I do hate too is people, like once a buff or something else happens, people make these builds for weapons, and that's the only thing you get fucking killed by for the next like 6 weeks. Yeah, the new meta. And I'm like, I'm not gonna grind 8 hours just to unlock all of that to still get killed by it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have that passion and drive anymore for Call of Duty. But back in the day, when I went to community college, I used to play World at War and Modern Warfare 2 for like 10 hours a day.
That's the good thing about Apex, though, is that I think Apex, like just playing it for a little bit, is like 100 times more optimized than Call of Duty. And I think that's why Fortnite kind of took over the spotlight than PUBG, because PUBG was, still in development and it was rough. Like PUBG was super rough. It was like sandpaper.
It was
People liked it, but it was like, it was
realistic until like you're in close quarters combat and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, it was. And Fortnite, the developers, it was just so much more optimized, and they had updates and all that stuff like that. So I think that's where Apex goes better, is that they just had the developments there.
Well, my favorite thing about Apex are probably the patch notes are very easy to read, and it's colorful. It's not just black and white text. They have pictures.
Notepad.
It's nice. It's like a nice, relaxing background, but it's very entertaining. The patch notes they goes down the list. Weapons. Here's what we buffed. Each character. Here's exactly what we buffed. Here's what we improved. And what I like about Apex is they pay attention to statistics. So, for instance, one of the winningest characters, all the way up to I think season 8 with Horizon was Wraith. Wraith had a very small hitbox. Because she's just a tiny character.
Right, small character, yeah.
So they had to give her a not a buff, but a nerf. And
nerf,
so
yeah.
So they had to make so then like now the two characters that people don't use, one of them is Watson. I forget the other one, but now they're getting those two buffs so they can have more people play as them. So those two characters can still play as competitive, which is nice because like you never want to have a game where everybody's the same fucking guy.
Right.
My other favorite thing about Apex is like when I get killed by another team, I'm 95% of the time not anymore like, oh, that's bullshit. I'm like, I've never seen that combo of these three characters together. Like I've never seen a Revenant. Like just the other day I was playing with Cut. And there was a Seer who's the new, I'd say Seer's a meta this season.
I heard he's OP or whatever.
He's very OP. And then a
Yeah.
Revenant, and the way that they used it and ended up killing us, I was like, that was such a good combo of specials that I did not think that through. So I appreciate that. And like, yeah, like you said, PUBG was fun, but man, it was super underdeveloped when it first came out.
Yeah.
And I've never played Fortnite. So
I played Fortnite seasons 1 and 2 on the Xbox before crossplay. So
hey, hold on.
You're good.
Yeah, sorry. When people ride bikes past my house, my dogs think that they're just gonna get murdered. So they just do not like bikes at all.
Right.
So hey, so a lot of times when I'm checking in your streams and I see your Instagram content, do you know your Instagram handle right off the rip or no?
WackDaniells.
All right. So what I like about it is like when you put your clips on there, you have really good voice acting. You know, like you have really good Halo themes.
Thank you.
Your McCree voices and the way that you troll. If no one's ever tuned in, like give us an example of just like a double kill through like what is it? What's a 5 kill? Is it a kill frenzy?
For Halo?
Yeah.
All right, so you got double kill, triple kill, quadruple kill, I think. And I think there's Hell's Janitor.
Yeah.
I think it's Hell's
Frenzy.
Janitor. Kill Frenzy, Kill Apocalypse.
Killtacular, and then
Kilimanjaro.
Kilimanjaro is 8, and then I think 9 is the last one. But yeah, I love those, and your content's super funny with random people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to interact with random people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that shit kills me when you do that.
I actually have I need to post it here, but there's a clip where I was trolling some dude, and it was like one of the dumbest trolls I've had. But Sea of Thieves, man, like that's why I love Sea of Thieves, because it has that opportunity for me to troll.
Yeah.
So, and that's like one of the things with like games and stuff like that with streamers, like you kind of have to figure out what game meshes with you specifically. And Sea of Thieves, even though I get like sometimes I'll get a headache afterwards because the motion, the boat, and the waves, bro, it gets me after a while. But
the water is beautiful.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it's just the ship battles, the PvP, and all that. It's super fun. But what makes it even better is just the fact that you got proximity chat.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll have a group of people that are like they're playing together in an open lobby, and they're not in Xbox Party or they're not in Discord, so they're just hot micing it.
Yeah.
And so you can hear him talk the whole entire time. And that's where you get the good troll moments where, like one time I was hiding on this group ship. It's a galleon, which is a 4-man ship, the biggest boat in the game or whatever. And so I was hiding in the captain's quarters, but I was talking to them as if I was part of their crew. So I was like, hey, how much more loot we got from this island? So they would say, and then they would come back. They ended up sailing off, and I was like, oh wait, I think I see something in the water over there. Stop the boat real quick. And then I heard them anchor and stuff like that, and they're like looking and stuff like that. They're like, where? I was like, oh, never mind, I don't think I saw it. So they raised the anchor, start going. I was like, oh wait, what is that over there? Stop real quick. And so I heard the anchor go down. It's so amazing.
One thing I appreciate about Sea of Thieves is when people watch other people, like it's a good, they've got a good online streaming community, and like we already talked about BeerMageddon, but there's certain things that like unspoken rules that people do, like unless you're just a total dick, or if you're a Reaper, which is just a ship that's supposed to go around and kill people. But if you're just sailing along, you can be like, "Oh, are you friendly?" And like you get on your megaphone, you're like, "Hey, are you guys chill?" And if they're not, then the battle commences. Yeah. But I like that small little toe in the water for like, hey, like what are you guys doing? Like, are you guys gonna leave us alone, or are you guys gonna be dicks over here?
Yeah.
And another thing I like is I like how they've like you said, mechanics wise, it was okay, but content wise, nothing. You sailed the other seas, hopefully looking for a boat. You had no idea what you were doing, and PvP was all they had. Now they've got Disney, Jack Sparrow trilogy, like the Gold Hoarders.
I don't know how they got that going.
money, dude. They got that with money. But I mean, now there's so much going on to where you've got your combat, because like I would have never thought of this, but launching yourself out of your own boat into the enemy boat and then anchoring their ship to where they can't sail, like that's mad genius.
That's big brain right there.
And then you die, you just go back to your boat, and they're anchored, and now they got to deal with an anchored boat.
You might someone shooting at them, and
you might be launching off your boat with the sword lunge, which I love when they leave that stuff in the game, because like that's what makes it a game. And
and the tucking as well. It was. I don't think it was intentional when they put that in there, but it's one of my favorite parts. Hiding on someone's boat and.
Yeah, there was the one emote where you could put a barrel on over yourself. You could have downloaded that for free at one point. I'm not sure.
Apparently, it has your name above the barrel, because I saw one do that. I was like, does that display your name above it? Because if that's the case, then that'd be good for islands, not necessarily good for boats, because people are like, wait, that barrel doesn't exist.
Yeah. But I mean,
they need a prop hunt in that.
Oh yeah, that would be an endless. I mean, prop hunt already is ridiculous because of how fast the props can move, for sure. Anything else that you want to get out, talk about? Anything that you want to promote?
Not necessarily. I mean, my tag, WackDaniells. But
I'll have in the description, like I said at the beginning, I'll have his Twitch link, his Instagram link. You guys should definitely go check that out. There's one more thing I want to have you say. We called it the Hitsfield Special. All right. Describe this perfect pizza for my audience. You gotta order it from Dominos.
I still get it. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I spread it to my family. So it is a thin crust pizza from Domino's. It has to be Domino's.
Has to be Domino's.
Pizza Hut.
Nope.
But you get barbecue sauce instead of tomato sauce, along with Hawaiian. You could add some bacon to it too, but that's pretty much it. Thin crust Hawaiian with barbecue sauce instead of tomato sauce. So
yeah, it's very good. Golf too. You had that pizza out there, and I was with Guck. We're like, damn, dude, that looks really good. And then we ended up ordering it, and we're like, holy shit, this motherfucker's on to something, Oh
yeah, I used to slam some Domino's back then, dude. I used to get one of those, a bread bowl, and some other stuff, and I would eat all that.
Well, the problem with DoD bases is Burger King, Taco Bell, and Subway are like the only three.
Taco Bell, babe.
Yeah. But when you only have 3 restaurants on those smaller bases, like those are your choices: Domino's, or I mean, you can get some sushi from the grocery store, which sounds gross, but it wasn't terrible. Like I
get my stuff from Hy-Vee right now. So
I don't even know what that is.
It's a local store here in Missouri.
Oh, I'm a Kroger man. I'm a Kroger man.
Okay, yeah, they sponsor Mahomes.
So. Oh, okay. Yeah. Like he needs more money.
Oh.
A quick little quip. You're a Chiefs fan.
Yep.
Out of a 17 game season, what's their record this year?
Oh man, that's so hard because they want a undefeated season. Whether or not that's going to happen or not is a good question. I'd have to look at the schedule real quick and say who's going to be our biggest threat. I think.
While you're looking it up, I'm hoping that my Packers get another 13-win season.
Dude, I'm hoping that I watched that playoffs game where they lost.
Yeah.
And I thought that decision to not go for it on the 4th like that, I think was a terrible idea.
I like Matt LaFleur. He's a young coach, and he's doing a way better job than McCarthy did because of his dynamic offense, because he likes, even though Aaron Rodgers, he still likes to balance the pass and rush game. But that's just inexperience for him to not let Aaron Rodgers cook.
You have Aaron Rodgers, which I think his arm, is pretty, I don't know. I would say pretty much right there with Mahomes. Like I saw him land some of the things that Mahomes would typically land. And I was just like, he's the gunslinger. Like I don't know.
do you know Frank?
Frank, yeah.
So Frank's a Patrick Mahomes hater.
Okay.
And during the Super Bowl loss, when he was diving sideways, throwing the ball accurately,
And it hit Mike Williams in the head.
And then he dropped it. He was going, oh, he didn't, people think he's that hype. And I was like, look at this play. Look at this person. Look at this young man.
He didn't give up until I don't think he gave up.
He didn't even give up. He delivered. He was getting sacked, diving away toward the ground, still threw an inaccurate into the helmet of a player who dropped it. That kid literally did every single thing that he could to win that championship game.
I think so too. And that's one of the things, like, they're like, yeah, look at the stats. I'm like, yeah, stats doesn't, like, you could look at stats all day, but like you said, you have to look at that one play and realize this man, he's pulling off ungodly throws. Had that been caught, it would have been one of the best plays besides Fitzpatrick getting his helmet pulled off and throwing it that way.
Look, I'm not a Patrick Mahomes like fanboy. He's a very good quarterback, plays for the Chiefs. I'm willing to admit that, yes, this is the future. This is already the future. His first year's performance and then following up with a non-fluke year, because usually you have that sophomore slump, even though it was his third season. He sat behind Smith that 1 year. But he's already the future. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no arguing. He's gonna break all the records. The only reason Brady's still in the league this year is because he realizes that he wants to hang on to those records as long as he can.
You think Brady's gonna do it again?
I can't say I can't say no, because he beat the Packers in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
So
I think Browns, the big teams. I think Browns. Might be a good game. I don't know their changes. Bills are definitely going to give it to us. Packers for sure. Possibly Raiders.
That'll be a tough. Yeah, that's a divisional game for y'all too.
And even possibly Broncos.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, because I don't know if they have.
I think you guys handle the Broncos. I think you guys handle the Broncos just because they do still have Drew Lock. Him and Teddy Bridgewater are now. I
saw Bridgewater. I think they need to put Bridgewater first. I think. That's
I mean, they're still deciding. They're splitting time during preseason. I think Kansas City, though, they're reloaded. They got Andy Reid. They're ready to go. The Raiders, they can play tough, so they could split the Raider series 1-1 this year. I can see that. The Packers, I can see that's the loss that I've already counted against my Packers, so I appreciate that.
And Ravens. Even then, they'll give it to us, but I think we'll still take that out of
the Bills. The Bills are the Bills, the Bills, man. But yeah, the Bills are a very good team. With the 17 game season, I'm really interested in who's going to finish where. I'm hoping the Packers go 13-4. We just off their 13-3 season. I'm a little nervous about the Bears this year just because of all the hype around them. But I mean, I don't know. People have already counted Aaron Rodgers going somewhere else next year, but he says he doesn't know yet. So it could be his last riding game day.
There was some talk about him going to Broncos. I would have been like, dude, do not go to the Broncos. Please, whatever you do.
So when Brett Favre left the Packers and went to the Jets, I was in Michigan at a Walmart. And on the jersey rack at Walmart, there was a Brett Favre Jets jersey. And I was like, bet, dude. For $20, I bought a starter jersey. I don't even know what brand it was. It was probably Reebok. Yeah. So I got that Brett Favre jersey. Then he went to the Vikings, and I even bought a Vikings jersey. But if Aaron Rodgers goes anywhere, I will not buy a Cowboys jersey. I will not buy a Saints jersey. And I will not buy a San Francisco 49ers jersey. Okay. Those are the three teams that I just can't stand to watch.
Okay.
So I will he can literally, he won't anymore because I mean they got Justin Fields and that's their future. But even if Aaron Rodgers went to Chicago, I would still get an Aaron Rodgers jersey over a Cowboys jersey. Can't stand the Cowboys. I hate them. They're not America's team, and they're just a little bunch of crying.
Hey, you gotta let Zach know about that.
Oh yeah, I give him shit all the time. He just had this Instagram post the other day where his this chick that he's been hanging out with. Was wearing a Cowboys shirt, and he's like, "She's a Cowboys fan," and I was like, "Throw her away. She's get rid of her." So what's your prediction for the overall record for Kansas City?
You said 17. I would say 15-2.
15-2. All right. Yeah, so Packers 13-4, Kansas City 15-2. Hitsfield, it was a pleasure getting you on this podcast. I only get like 4 viewers, but
Hey, dude, let me know when you got this out.
I'm gonna upload it. All I usually do after this is I pick which game highlight. I always put a game highlight on the beginning for my intro, and then basically upload it from there. I'm not a whole lot of. I like to keep it raw. I mean, if someone's like, "Hey, I said something that I shouldn't have," or "Hey, I want this taken out," I will take it out. But I kind of just like to let it go. So it's more of a conversation rather than those, like, the people who do their own vlogs, but they constantly cut it. So it's like, here's how I feel about this. And then they're over here because they cut it. I don't like to do that. I like to be raw. I like to go in raw. But it has been a pleasure. WackDaniells, Instagram.com/WackDaniells and Twitch.tv/WackDaniells. Link in the description. Give them a follow. If you give them a follow, just let them know, hey, I'm one of the 4 people that watch the JT show.
I'm sure. I don't think any of my people expect me to do anything like this. So I'm sure once you upload it, I'll hit it up on my story. So I'm sure people.
Yeah. I mean, not that I like to get more people on that, but I was like, hey man, he just did this 24-hour stream. I haven't met anybody else that I know. I've only done one. So I was like, we got to talk about it. And then we can just have a conversation there. But again, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
You can catch him streaming again, twitch.tv/WackDaniells, link in the description. Signing out, Captain's Log.